Hi, I'm Joanne Cary. Welcome back to the Embodied Soul podcast, a multidimensional space intended to support you in mastering, living, being, and thriving as the embodied soul you are. In this week's episode, I'm back at the beach, and I feel called to talk about some of the stuff that I'm going through in the hopes that it will support you too, whether it's what you're going through right now, to provide some confirmation, some affirmation as to what you're experiencing, or whether it's something that you're coming up to in the next few months. When you hear this, it'll be the perfect time. So if you are wanting to join me on this little rambling that will walk through some of the things that I'm going through, some of the ways that I've navigated through it, then I invite you to pull up a comfy chair, invite in your soul, and be open to receive exactly what you need to live, be, and thrive as the embodied soul you are. So I'm at the beach right now, and it is gorgeous. I'm really anchoring into the earth, into the trees, getting support from the ocean for nourishing, replenishment, clearing and cleansing, and just overall energetic support. As I have found these energies that we're moving through right now a lot. And this is for a couple of reasons. Simply the energetics on the earth right now, what's coming up from the earth, what the earth is receiving from the sun, what the earth is receiving from the consciousness of the interstellar objects like 3i Atlas, from our galactic family and friends. There is an exceptionally large amount of high frequency and new cosmic energies that we are all receiving, whether we know it or not, whether we are what we would call awake or not. Everybody and everything on the earth is being sort of pummeled by these high energetics. And this is beautiful because this is incredible change. It is what some have referred to as like the reset. It is a whole shift, a fast shift. And I put fast in quotations because fast in terms of spirit is never as fast as we as humans think. But this is incredibly fast, even in terms of spiritual timelines. And so we are already simply having to, our bodies are having to integrate this energetics. And this is pushing up a lot of stuff for us. And the other thing is, a lot of people who listen to this podcast and who listen to my activations love light language, love channeled messages, and that's because of the high frequency energy that comes through. And I bring it through, but I am also a student, and I love receiving it as well. And so on top of the regular energetics that are at an all-time high, if you are still imbibing in, if you are still listening to and receiving other energetics, even if it's through my weekly transmissions, you are taking on even more energies. And this means that you, me, we get to integrate it. And so that means we're going to feel it. That means all of those symptoms, all of those symptoms that we experience, we have to remember that they're natural and that we are actually asking for more of them when we take on additional energetics. And so what does this look like for me right now? It has been an absolutely crazy combination of my normal sort of high energy self. But then in the next moment, I am so depleted that I can barely keep my eyes open and drag myself to the nearest spot to lay down. Sometimes that's a 5-minute rest. Like 2 days ago, it was like an hour and a half. And there's nothing wrong with this. It's actually really important for us to listen to our bodies right now. There is absolutely no point in us pushing ourselves to push through our normal activities if we have options to set them aside, because our bodies need some stillness. They need the grounding. They need the opportunity to integrate the energies in order for us to benefit fully from them. And that also then means more stuff is going to come up for us to have to deal with, whether it's in our personal interactions, or whether it's in our sleep time, or whether it's in simply the playing out of the stories in our mind, the memories coming up, the childhood issues that we had, or our parental issues, all of the things. So I've been pushing through, and I'll use the word pushing through because it's taking conscious effort. This goes back to other episodes. It's choice and choice and choice again and again and again to recognize the symptom, to recognize what's coming up, and to be in allowance of it, to allow it to occur, to not continue to try to push through. Because this is what I was doing, right? I was still trying to do everything that I was normally doing, all the things, creating videos, creating content, on top of us building in Costa Rica and coming close to a move at the end of the month into our what will be our rental home in the future. And then I was judging myself when I would lay down. So the instant I would lay down, being called to lay down and just be still, all of a sudden the mental mind of me would be like, but you still have this to do and this to do, and maybe we should do this while we're just laying here so that we can be more productive. Again, these are patterns that I've worked on, and that clearly I'm getting to see the next layer of the spiral. This may be happening to you too. And so I'm sharing this so that you can benefit and be in the awareness of, so that you can be gentler on yourself and to allow yourself the moments of rest, to allow yourself the time to go out for a walk, whether out in nature, whether it's around your local park, whether it's out to a beach like I'm on right now. Listen to what your body needs. Practice it. Don't try to push through and do everything that you're doing, knowing that this is the energetics of it, right? If we try pushing through and continuing to create from a place of, I have to do this, I must do this, I need to be productive, that's the energetics that's going into our relationships, into our creations, into our communities, and that's not as supportive as one where it's really anchoring into full self-love. And we are being called to that right now. We all talk about self-care and self-love, but this that I'm feeling and anchoring into is a different level of self-love. This is divine self-love. This is not just caring for yourself, your physical body, your vessel, your mind, all of your energy bodies, but it's coming to a place where you are 100% accepting of yourself, regardless of what you're going through, regardless of the circumstances. The judgment is flowing away, for you just understand yourself as having this experience and doing the very best that you can in every moment that we're going through it. And so we're really called to we're really being called to this month, whenever you're hearing this message, to pay attention to what's coming up. There is so much release happening that we don't even need to be consciously aware of. With the energetics, all the low-hanging fruit of release is simply letting go, because the energetics of it, it's no longer in resonance with our field. And so it is just going. The bigger patterns, the longer ones, the karmic ones, they're coming up for us to see. And even last night I had this dream, and I could see that this was another part of myself from another lifetime that's impacting my life now, but that I know was calling to be seen from the higher level frequencies, so that she could be brought back into the wholeness of my larger oversoul that will ultimately ripple out in benefit in my life and any sort of future timelines. And it takes us allowing ourselves to have some stillness, anchoring down into the practices that feel good in the moment that we are living in, whether it's meditation, whether it's breath work, whether it's a walk in the park, whether it's grabbing your favorite nutritious food and really being in a mindful moment with it as you allow it to nourish and nurture your body. Whatever it is for you, allow yourself permission and gift yourself the gift of allowing yourself to engage in the practices that are going to support you on every level of your being, physical and all of your energetic layers. I know that I'm super excited by going through all this, even when I forget, and this is another symptom, right? And I talked about this a few episodes ago. When we take on more energy and we go into heavy integration, we often feel disconnected from our guides in the way we're normally connected, or to spirit, or to our intuition. They're still here. Even when we forget, or even when we think that they're not supporting us, we are fully supported and engaged. They're just standing back and letting us do the hard work of integrating. And again, this is our system knows how to do this. It's not us consciously saying, I'm now integrating energies. No, it's like your body's doing it. We just get to provide it the space and hold it. The same way you might hold a sick family member, the same way you might hold a child who's having a hard day. That's how we need to hold ourselves. We need to hold ourselves in that same care, love, compassion. And our guides are doing that as well. But this incredible shift in consciousness, especially this next year and a half, it's not going to let up. So it is giving us a master lesson in learning and embodying the practices as we take on more of our soul into our physical form. So I encourage you, be gentle with yourself, be loving with yourself, have compassion for yourself, definitely have compassion for others who may not be doing what you want them to do, who may not be acting as you want them to act. Oh yeah, and the other thing I wanted to just remind you is that we are spiritual beings having a spiritual experience. And we will often, and I will certainly speak for myself, prioritize my spiritual practices, my spiritual learning, my energetic growth, my evolution in consciousness. But we also have to remember that we're living the physical life. And there are going to be times when your physical life needs your 100% attention, or darn close to it. And I use this as an example of, we're furnishing houses, we're building houses, we are needing to deal with all of the people involved in the build, in our own negotiating, getting stuff to go in it, our own mental health around our relationships as we navigate through the stresses of doing that. And that will sometimes take up some of the time that we may have been dedicating to our spiritual practice, to our own energetic growth. And we get to not judge that. We get to be in allowance and permission and grace to say, this is what's presenting itself to me in this moment, which means it's the thing that needs to get addressed next in order to open me up to the next step. And that includes your next spiritual, your next energetic upgrade, if you want to call it that. Because the experiences we're having and the lessons we're learning by going through our normal day-to-day living, our sheer beingness, is what's bringing forth to us the lessons that we need, the experiences we came here to have. So we have to keep into balance that everything that we do is spiritual. It's all helping us evolve as soul and body, and not to prioritize or to uplift something on a pedestal, because it's all important. And the more we can anchor into, all of our experiences are important, and it's only us who are determining whether something is good, bad, better, or worse than another. if we can just simply look at it as it simply is, then it will allow us to move more gracefully through the times that we're in. I hope that what I've shared in this message is helpful to you in some way. I would love to know if it resonated, what you're going through right now, and anything that you would love to share. It really does encourage me and motivate me to continue going when I know that the messages are supporting you. And with that said, I'm going to close off this episode of Embodied Soul. If you've loved this message, please like it, share it, turn on notifications, and subscribe to my channel. It really does help grow the channel and support me in creating more content for you. Well, I look forward to seeing you on next week's episode of Embodied Soul.